Shortly after EAZY passed, several members from Ruthless Records were involved in a probate case. While this was going on, a judge ordered Ruthless shut down and the doors to its Woodland Hills office to be closed. During this time, my guest today, Raphael Ghazarian, a 19-year-old at the time, and his friend Joshua Allen decided to do the unthinkable. They decided to hack the Ruthless Records answering machine voicemail and direct all calls to their crash pad in Toronto. In the hacked answering machine message, they stated that Ruthless Records had relocated to Toronto. Because Ruthless Records operations had been halted, the altered answering message stayed like that for months. So calls that were intended for Ruthless Records started going to Ghazarian and Allen. Although they were big EAZY fans, they had no idea of the chaos this would cause. This situation even got the FBI involved. Here to tell his story is Raphael Ghazarian, the 19-year-old who hacked Ruthless Records' voicemail. Before we jump into the Ruthless situation head on, let's talk about your life. What was going on in your life right around this time?
I grew up in Scarborough. Like, I don't know if a lot of you people in the States would know where that is, but that's like one of the boroughs in Toronto. And it was a rough place to, grow up. So I was always a hustler. I was that kid that would go to the grocery store and move the packer out of the way at like 5 years old and start packing the old ladies vegetables and stuff in a bag and carry it to her car and get a $5 tip kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I was like a hustler growing up, my whole freaking life. So basically what happened was when I moved to Ottawa, I started playing with telephones, like calling 1-800 numbers, hacking them. It was like my thing, I was really good at breaking into answering machines, hearing different countries, listening to their messages on their answering machine, stuff like that. So I ended up doing that one night at my buddy's apartment, as you know, to a bunch of different CDs, psychic lines, and all that stuff. And this is what came out of that, was this whole Ruthless Records being taken over by us. Crazy story, man.
You were 19, right?
Yeah, I was about 19 years old.
Okay.
18, 19. Like, you got to remember, I closed the file on this a long, long time ago in my brain. You know what I mean? So when I saw those FBI files and I heard Ben Westhoff, the guy that writes the book Gangsta Gangster, on YouTube talking about it, it gave me like pins and needles, bro. I was sitting here like, what the fuck? These guys are talking about me. You know what I mean? I didn't think anybody knew about it. And then I found the FBI files and I was like, damn. But the way we were back then growing up was me, Joshua, a whole bunch of our friends. We're typical 90s kids. We're wearing like the 8-ball jackets, advisory parental hats and all that stuff, Just being 90s kids, smoking weed, you know what I mean? Hanging out at malls like mall rats, doing dumb things in arcades. It was that era. We'd listen to NWA, drive around all day, smoke weed, you know what I mean?
Before the EAZY thing, you were able to hack Hootie and the Blowfish's voicemail?
Oh, yeah. I hacked Hootie and the Blowfish and basically changed. I listened to all the messages people were calling in. It was pretty boring. But I changed the answering machine to say Hootie's a bitch. Hootie's a loser. Hootie, and I was a big Hootie fan, so you know what I mean. But yeah, I hacked it, and then I'm going through CDs. Like, I was high out of my tree. This was like 3 a.m, bro. It was like the party had ended. I'm still at my buddy's apartment. I'm smoking weed on the couch, and there's an old stack of CDs on a fucking the coffee table. So I'm like bored, I'm like, okay, the guy's phone's for free. Did you know the whole story about why I'm at this guy's apartment on the telephone?
No.
So this dude, Josh Allen, moves here from England. We all meet up. We're homies, blah, blah, blah. We're doing things. We go out a lot, whatever. He gets an apartment under his twin brother's ID that lives in England. So he puts the whole apartment under his twin brother's name, the telephone line under his brother's name. He basically doesn't give a fuck if he doesn't pay rent for the next 3 months and they throw him out, or doesn't pay the phone bill. So when I was like, the phone's free, and my love for like fucking with telephones, I was like, wow, I'm going to fucking like call psychic lines. I literally debunked the psychics in my head. I was like, these guys don't, they don't know nothing. You know what I mean? because like I'd ask questions and they would fuck up on it. I got bored and eventually hit the CDs and started calling the 1-800 numbers on the back or the 151, whatever area codes in the back, right? From this phone that's free. And then I changed the answering machine on Ruthless. I hacked it. I listened to all their messages. I knew nothing about what was going on at the time. You know, we didn't have internet. There's no smartphone. You know, the only thing I would ever read was like Word Up magazine or shit like that. And they never talked about any of this background stuff in there, you know?
What was the process of hacking a voicemail? Like, did you just pick different numbers? What was your way of getting into voicemails?
So, like, as I said, man, I was a youngster. All I did was, like, you probably had hobbies, collecting comic books, I don't know, whatever you did. My hobby was picking up that telephone and just dialing the fucking 1-800 numbers and trying to hack into them. I don't know why, I was fascinated. It was like, almost like I was autistic when it came to the telephone. You know what I mean? And I could just hack any machine as a kid. So when I hit up NWA's tabletop, bro, that thing's a joke. Tabletops are like the worst answering machine you could have because all you got to do is hit. So there's 4 numbers that are going to release the answering machine, right? It's 4 digits usually that is going to unlock it and open it up for you. So if I start with, like, my fingers would go 100 miles an hour. So if I start with 01001, 01002, 01003, you know what I mean? I could do this so fucking quick, and then the thing would time out, so I'd have to call back, and I'm like, okay, I was at 1111. I got to start from there, 1112, 1113, 1114. You know what I mean? And the fucking thing eventually would hear the right noises, because these things went off tones back in those days, right? So if they would hear the right tone, the thing would open up and let me in. And the minute it let me in Ruthless Records, I started listening to their messages. There was like, I guess a lot of like bill collectors type people calling in at the time because people are wondering where the fuck the money is, you know? So, yeah. So, I mean, I just changed it. Instead of saying rest in peace, EAZY or something dumb, I'm like, this guy's apartment. Yo, this guy's fucking apartment. He said the phone he doesn't even give a fuck about. So I gave his phone number. I said, Ruthless Records has moved to Ottawa, Toronto, Canada is what I said. I don't know why everybody's saying Ottawa, but Toronto, Canada. I figured people would know Toronto more than Ottawa if they're American.
Yeah.
If I ask you where Ottawa is, you're not going to know where the fuck Ottawa is. Hey, it's Canada's capital, right?
Right.
But you're not going to know that. You're not going to know that. So I said Toronto in the message. Now I go home the next day, whatever. I go to school. I'm doing whatever I do at 19. And my buddy fucking calls me while I'm about to have supper with my family. And my mom's like, this guy, Josh, she's a little Lebanese woman. She's like, this boy, Josh, call, you know, like yelling at me. I said, oh, okay. So, like, when the phone rang, I answered it. And he's like, you got to come the fuck over here, bro. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, did you fucking give my phone number out last night? I go, no. I'm like trying to remember what the fuck I did. And he's like, I don't know, man. I'm getting people calling me, singing, EAZY, rest in peace, RIP, blah, blah, blah. He's like, what the fuck? Who'd you call? And I'm like, what the fuck? I go, okay, listen, I'm going to eat my food. I'm going to fucking rush over there. This guy lives far from me. I got to take buses and shit to get there. You know what I mean? The hardest part about taking the bus, brother, is parking it. It's hard to park the bus. It's easy to take one. But listen, so I go to the guy's apartment, and I'm starting to listen to all these different people singing and fucking rapping, and I'm like, holy fuck. And he's like, bro, you got to make this stop. I'm like, bro, we can make money with this. These people think we're ruthless. If this number, you know what I mean? If this number calls back, I don't know how and we tell them that your music is good and this and that, we could probably make some money out of this. So I banged up my head and came up with a formula to, you know, make some money. But you got to remember, I'm 19 years old here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you say make money, what was your plan? Like,
I didn't have a plan, brother. I didn't have a plan at the time. All I knew was all these people are calling and they're vulnerable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was bad, bro. I was on my fucking worst behavior that night. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then we just started figuring out if we tell these people, we call them individually, numbers back and tell them that their singing is amazing. You guys are the next blah, blah, blah. We need new artists for EAZY. What we're doing right now is like we're collabing with new Ruthless artists, old Ruthless artists, and we're doing a tribute CD for EAZY. And we'd love to have you on it as a new artist. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty much just fucking honking their horns, bro. That's what I was doing. I was honking their horns, big up in them. They'd feel like king, that nobody would believe that. And then I told them they got to send us a demo, pictures, and anywhere from 100 to 500 band member. I think in the beginning I started with 100. Because I didn't even think they were fucking send it, right?
And did people actually send any money?
Oh my God, bro. Bro, it was heaven. It was payday. Money was falling from the skies, brother.
Whoa.
Brother, we fucking probably cleared 5,000 minimum a week. That's US, bro. You know, we're going out, we're buying drip, we're buying fucking Jordans, we're buying all the newest shit. Money didn't matter. We're spending it like we're fucking, you know, bars, clubs, partying, girls, you know what I mean? All that power. It was all that power, bro.
Okay.
It was like, it felt euphoric, man. It was like a power, you know what I mean?
When did it go from being fun to being scary?
I don't know, brother. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I was ever really scared. You know what I mean? Because at 19 years old, you're bulletproof. You know what I mean? So I don't think I was ever really scared. Like scared. Yeah, I was a little nervous, but not. I don't think I was ever scared.
How long did the voicemail stay up, to the best of your knowledge?
I want to say more than 2 months.
Damn.
It felt like eternity. I'm not going to lie.
The FBI got involved. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, he did. Yes. I didn't know about the FBI, but so what happened was, you know, the NWA movie that came out?
Yep.
Straight Outta Compton?
Yep.
So right around that time is when I started really figuring out, because I think I went to that movie with all my friends, right? Thinking, is my name going to pop up? Or is something about a hack machine going to pop up anywhere in this movie? I was waiting for it. You know what I mean? And I saw nothing. That made me curious. That made me jump on the internet, start looking up, you know, the NWA lost tapes, for example, or NWA. You know about the lost music, right?
So, yeah, talk to me about what you know about it, because we've had Mike Klein, head of business affairs and security of Ruthless Records on the show, and he discussed it.
Klein.
But, yeah, talk to me about
Mike
what
Klein.
you know about that.
What's up with Mike Klein? I listened to that clip. I didn't even know who the fuck this guy was. I don't know this guy from Adam. You know what I mean? I didn't know about him when I did this. I didn't know he was even involved. Why is he getting accused? Maybe you should ask himself that question. It's still unanswered, brother.
When did you first hear the name Mike Klein?
From you guys, actually.
Really? Okay.
I listened to the Alonso show, and I'm like, what the f-? You know what I mean? Like, bro, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. It's like, how can you be mad at a couple of kids that need some money? Fucking respect the hustle, right? I didn't know. I still don't 100% know what happened. Is he accused of stealing the lost music out of EAZY's trunk?
He has been. Yeah, he has been accused of taking music to Canada.
That all happened because of us, obviously. I told fucking Jerry Heller on the phone that I had the fucking briefcases. I was trying to hustle him out of 20 grand. So when the actual Jerry Heller called, because I made my boy Josh be Jerry Heller for the longest time. Because, like, if I'm talking to you on the phone and you're a good rapper, I'd be like, I'm passing you over to the boss, Jerry Heller. He wants to talk to you. They're all blown away. Part of the hustle, right? Getting the money.
Yeah.
So they get to talk to Jerry on the phone. But the real Jerry calls in. Imagine my fucking face. He's like, hey, how you doing? Who are you guys? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? We're Ruthless Records. And he's like, I'm Ruthless Records. He starts telling me, going on, is Jerry Heller? I don't even know who the fuck Jerry Heller is. To me, the only thing I knew was NWA's tapes. I'm in Canada. I don't know shit about shit. All I know is I love EAZY, Ice Cube, Dre, Yella, Ren. You know what I mean? These are I don't know Jerry Heller. I don't know Mike Klein. I don't know fucking. And this guy's on the phone with me, and apparently the phone was tapped with the FBI on there. And this guy's just fucking yapping a lot of bullshit. And I'm just like thinking, okay, how can I extort him too? You know, the ball's so rolling. I'm so fucking invested that I'm like, how can I hustle this guy? And he's like, what did Tanika give you? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, the 2 briefcases. I came up with titanium briefcases. Apparently I hit the nail on the head. There was actually 2 titanium briefcases, not just briefcases, right? So he's like, okay, well, if you could show me proof, I'll be more than glad to send you the money. And then he's trying to get us to come to LA to testify against Tanika Woods. So now I'm like, okay, well, Tanika's a pretty strong, I don't know if you know her, but I'm acting. I don't even know who the fuck Tanika is. I know it's his wife, but I'm acting. And I'm just like, you know, like she can have us killed down there. I can't come there. Just send me the money. I'll send you your stupid fucking tapes and I'll leave. He's like, I can protect you. You know what I did for EAZY? I fucking protected him when some gangsters were coming after him. He's telling me this whole fucking story, bro. It was. I wish I could have recorded that convo. The FBI have it, apparently. Apparently the FBI have all the voice clips. You know what I mean? Damn. He probably called us 5 times. He probably called like 5 times. You know what I mean?
And what was it? What do you think his aim was in calling you guys?
He was more about the fucking, when he called me, he wanted to find out who set up the business. It was more about his court case and the stolen cases, right? That's why the FBI is there. Because fucking Jerry called them and said, I have the guys in Canada. Imagine, like, I'm 19 years old sitting on a fucking couch getting high. I hack an answering machine, and now I got the FBI looking down on me. How the fuck is that, bro? When you really, really break it down and, like, think the severity of the situation could have been, it's fucking insane. Dude, I wish I had all the fucking tapes and evidence, all these different fucking people that called me. I had a whole box in my room. But I was a kid. I'm living in mom's fucking house. You know what I mean? It's up in the closet. Like, this is the shit I would revisit once a year and look at and laugh. All the tapes. You should have heard some of these people singing, bro. The funniest shit you ever heard. And we're big up in them like they're fucking gangsters. Like they're going to be the next fucking EAZY. You know what I mean? Sending us their $500, $500 from Boston. This white group. They're all a bunch of fat guys. And they had a song called, and it goes on. Girls should be tripping when we go skinny dipping. Girls be some shit, dude. Me and my brother would drive around laughing our heads off at these guys rapping and looking at their pictures. Like they went out and paid all this top dollars for the pictures, you know?
Damn.
Send it to us like studio style, man. It was rough, bro. It was like we did a lot of bad shit, but we didn't care. Like we were young, you know what I mean?
So people were sending you their tapes, sending you their black and white photos.
Girls, bro. Girls are sending me kitty pics, fucking ass shots, fucking sending me fucking rabbit's foot trinkets from all over Tennessee, the fucking, you know, Knoxville and here and there. And it's like, imagine just being 19 years old. I haven't even fucking really traveled without my parents. And I'm getting the attention, all this fucking attention from all these people. You know what I mean? I'm making money hand over fist, and it's seamless. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel? How do you feel at 19 years old? Do you even know emotions yet?
Right.
You know, you haven't even, it's like you started your first business robbing EAZY. Well, not easy per se, but the fucking Ruthless Records company. Trying to extort money out of fucking people, especially Jerry Heller. You know?
After you guys hang up with Jerry Heller, what are you and Josh telling each other? What are you guys talking about?
You know what? We're talking about, he's scared shitless, okay? This guy's fucking bugging out always, and I'm the one that's always keeping him calm. Yeah, Josh was always tripping out, like, bro, like, fuck, how are we getting all this money? I'm like, well, I don't enjoy this shit, man. Why are you freaking out, dude? It's blessings, you know what I mean? But yeah, he would be tripping out. I just like, listen, this is what you got to do. This is how you got to play it. You got to be serious. Just for 5 minutes, bro. Put on your serious game face. Talk to these motherfuckers on the phone. You know what I mean? And he would handle his business. He was good. I had him convinced. You know what I mean? And the money was good. The money had him convinced. You know?
Do you and Josh still talk to this day?
No, man. I lost Josh back then. I don't know where the fuck he is. And I hope he's going to hear this shit. I hope one day he's going to be like going on YouTube doing what I did. And be like, what the fuck? You know? He's probably in England. He's probably fucking got a beer belly and 6 kids. You know? Who knows, bro? Who knows?
Damn.
But yeah, man, I try to get a hold of him. I've asked all our old friends. They're all like, man, I don't know what happened to that guy. I went back to England or some shit, you know?
So what was the
Now,
outcome?
listen, Dusty, let me ask you. So what happened was how we found out about this. So we're running the play, right? And everything's going good and all that shit. And one day I get a phone call when I'm there from a LA Times reporter. She's the one that notifies me. She's the one that says, so what's happening? How are you open in Canada? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, well, do you know about the court case? Blah, 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 blah. Tamika Woods, Jerry Heller, this and that. Telling me the whole fucking story and literally like arming me with more info. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, well, and then she mentions Tamika Woods, the deathbed, the signing of the record company. She told me everything verbatim. And then I just used that Tamika Woods was the one that told us to open up here. And then when Jerry Heller would call, I told Jerry that actually Tamika called us one time. You know that, right?
No, actually, nah.
Hey, so I know Tamika called us because I heard that she had gotten arrested for opening up Ruthless Records in Canada. And she was brought to the station and released because she said, it's on the FBI files. I read it all. I don't know anybody in Canada. I don't know nothing about Canada. I did a deal with somebody in Canada for some Ruthless, some records or something once. And she mentions like Sony in Canada or one of those guys. But she goes, I don't know anybody in Canada. Right? So then I hear about that. And then we get a phone call. Anyway, we get a phone call from some lady on the phone saying, who are you? Who gave you the right to open up? Like yelling at me. yelling at me. And I'm like, what the I go, Jerry Heller. You know what I mean? And she's like, wow, blah, 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 said some shit, hangs up the fucking phone on me. I go, that has to be Tamika Woods. There is no goddamn way that's not Tamika Woods, because what lady would call me yelling at me?
Did you ever think that your door was going to get kicked in and that this whole thing was going to end back then? Or were you just riding the
never.
wave?
I never thought the door was going to get kicked in, but I thought we were pretty slick. You know, like, I don't know. I'm 19. I'm not thinking the big bad FBI's getting involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, I didn't think the door would get kicked down, but I mean, could it have? Of course, right? From what I'm hearing now, it's like they were fucking steps away from kicking in our door. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, so then we got a lot of interesting phone calls too, right? From different fucking people. Yeah, so different rappers, different fucking, people saying we owed money. Even the guy on the NWA, you know the guy that plays the guitar?
Stan the Guitar Man?
Yeah, you could probably, you know what, if you interview him, I guarantee you, he'll say he called Ruthless Records Canada, and he asked about his money. Yeah, man, that was one of them. There was a Laidlaw that called in, you know Laidlaw above the law?
Of course, R.I.P. Laidlaw, yes.
Yeah, okay, Laidlaw was another one that called in, and I had a nice conversation with the guy and explaining that Ruthless is, you know, temporarily here and blah, 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 and I don't know what the fuck he wanted to talk about, but he was talking. Craig Mack had called in once. Yeah, and little Kendrick Lamar would call in every fucking day. We call him Little Kenny. Yeah, this kid from Compton, and his mom would be on the phone sometimes. We never took anything from Kenny. You know what I mean? We never did, because he was like a little buddy. He'd send us school pictures. He'd send us like rap tapes about him going to school, on the tape rapping about like the boss and bullies and this and that.
So
you know
he
what
had
I
to
mean?
be about 7 at this time then, right? Because he was born in the...
I was going to say 7 or 8. Yeah, I thought it was 8. I have a school picture with the stars in the back, you know, like that backdrop they do at school pics.
Yeah.
He'd send us all this. He was like our boy. He'd call in every day. Imagine this kid thinking he's best friends with Ruthless Records growing up. You know what I mean?
Man, I would love to hear his point of view on that, if he even remembers that.
I would love to, man. I've tried to, like, how do you get a hold of Kendrick Lamar? You don't.
Yeah, exactly.
But he would remember me as Loke. Because I always said my name was Loke. I'm not giving my fucking real name out. So I would say I'm Loke, right? So he'd call, yo, blah, 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 blah. Tell me he's gay and what happened. I think his mom worked at a Burger King or some shit. But she wanted to come to Toronto if Kendrick was going to go and this and that. You know? It was fucking just... That guy, I never thought he was going to be a superstar, bro. I never thought he was going to, you know, I never thought he'd blow up like that. I just thought it was Little Kenny. He's a kid, you know, like you're not taking money from people that don't have money. You know what I mean?
When did everything stop?
Oh, dude, man. One day, I knew it. The fucking phone stopped ringing and everything just slowed right down, right? And I was like, what the f*** is going on? So I actually called the Ruthless Records, and it was the normal answering machine. So I knew right off the bat, these guys changed it. The battle's over. And that's it. The ride's over, man. It was fucking fun as hell, but it's over, you know?
Did you try to get back into it? Did anything linger on, or was it just a thing of the past? You know, hey, we had the fun time.
I could have hacked it again, but no, I didn't try to get back into it, man. It was just like acceptance. You know what I mean? I could actually feel the way I felt. It's sad as hell, you know, for the first little bit. You know, you walk around with a different glow, bro. When you got this kind of money coming in, everything's going your way. You know what I mean? You walk around with this different head held high kind of, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden it's all over, you know? So now you got to come up with something else. You know what I mean?
All right. Now as an adult, 30 plus years later, what are your thoughts on what you did?
Well, can I take it back? You know what I mean? What could I do?
Right.
It happened. I did it. And I don't know. Why? Could you explain to me why Mike Klein is mad at me?
Other than the fact that he felt like he got a lot of the brunt of what you guys did, but I don't know specifically why.
Would you ever put us together?
Can definitely make that happen.
He was talking some smack, though.
Yes, he did not have favorable things to say about you guys.
I didn't think he was mad at me, bro. I really didn't even think he fucking, you know, like I mattered in the guy's life at all. It's just weird hearing it, you know?
You can see if we can get you guys on the phone together.
Maybe like I don't know, we could tremendous problem he has with me, or we're going to go in the ring toe-to-toe. I'm going to give him a few, you know.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm going to win, but I'm definitely throwing a couple. You know, I'm going to do the left-right dodge, you know, come through.
That guy ain't no joke. I don't know these days if he still has it like he did in the 90s, but something tells me he probably still does. But
well, I hope so. I want him to have something in his fucking tank.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
well, yeah, I'll work on that for sure behind the scenes. I'm definitely going to get back in touch with you. Yeah. All
I
right.
appreciate it. Where is these lost tapes, man? Where are they? Where are these cases at?
That's a great question.
Who's holding out from us, bro? Like, who's holding all this beautiful fucking music right now?
What have you heard throughout the years about the lost tapes yourself?
Well, I go on YouTube and I can see Ben Westhoff stuff and all that stuff. And I'm seeing millions of people commenting all over different videos saying we need to go to Canada with like a metal detector. You know, like Canada's this big. Canada's the second largest country in the world. If I really had those music, you think I would have held them this long? I would have tried to capitalize and sell them somehow. Get $1 million back then on the street, you know? But fuck, we need that music, though. We really do. We need it.
Was there
There's some Guns N' Roses stuff.
Wait, what? With EAZY?
Yeah, EAZY did Guns. You don't remember Axl back in the day always wore NWA bandanas?
They were friends.
Sweet Child of Mine.
Homies, yeah,
man. So they did shit together. This is what I've heard. I've heard that from many different places that they did shit together. There was an NWA EAZY collab. Sorry, not NWA. Guns N' Roses and EAZY collab. There was different collabs on these. Like we're missing out, man. Somebody's got these. They're somewhere because they were stolen out of the back of his Mercedes, right?
That's what one of the rumors I've heard. Definitely. Did you guys ever get blamed for any of that?
Of course, bro. Okay. That's what the whole deal was.
So talk to me about that specific part because I don't know much about that.
Okay. Jerry Heller was basically calling to find out where those cases are. Why am I in Canada opening up Ruthless Records? Who put me up to it? He believed Tamika had the fucking cases because where was EAZY's Mercedes when he was in the hospital? Signing over his fucking life to Tamika Woods on his deathbed. What kind of shit is that, bro? Tell me this woman ain't a hustler. Comes from fucking, where did she used to work prior, you know?
Prior to Ruthless? I don't, but I'll look it up while we're talking.
She worked for Motown, apparently. She was a head up. And then she comes over, you know, starts with EAZY. The guy marries her on his deathbed. Even Jerry was telling me, he goes, EAZY would have never married her. Never. He would have never married her. That's why the whole fucking court battle was. You know, because he knows that EAZY didn't sign everything. He wouldn't sign anything over to no one. How many kids did EAZY have? So, yeah, man. So those fucking cases are somewhere, bro. I don't know where they are. I wish I did. I really do. But, guys, don't come to Canada with metal detectors because you're going to be here for fucking years finding nothing. Maybe you'll find gold. You get lucky, but that's about it.
This whole thing is in the past, obviously. Have you got hit up by anybody since then? You know, the FBI, any law enforcement, anything else? Or is it just
not a shoe print?
Disappeared, done and
not
done?
A shoe print.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only getting hit up by contacts, like, you know, I saw Ben Westhoff's thing. I commented on it. That's how he got a hold of me. He commented on it, and one of his big listeners kept messaging me saying, "You need to contact Ben." This was going on for like 3 years, man. At least 3 years we were back and forth, and I never wanted to say shit because I'm like, if I tell this guy, then I'm saying that I'm the guy that did it, right? So I could probably get arrested. I didn't know about the timeline, and you know, I'm not digging that deep. I'm just looking out for me. Right. I'm just looking out for myself. You know what I mean? So finally, when he called me the last time, I was out somewhere with friends, and I'm like, yo, I'm out with friends. And he's like, listen, Rafael, I just want to let you know it's past the statute of limitations. And now we can actually fucking talk about this. And I'm like, you know what? Let me call you tomorrow and I'll talk with you a little bit. So it sunk with me. I'm like, yeah, it's been over fucking 25 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's a statute. I think that's a statute of limitations. What, 25 years?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but he knows this shit, you know?
Man, I appreciate you sharing your story. I know you have some business things that you have going on. We talked about a clothing line, a couple of other things.
I started up, we got some restaurants and stuff, but we started up a clothing line called Ticket Clothing. It's literally a ticket stub, and the ticket basically signifies life. You need a ticket for heaven. You need a ticket for hell. You need a ticket to get into the red carpet event. You need a ticket for the football game, tennis game, opera. So it's like the ticket to life. And eventually I would like to collab with like artists. I like to collab with, because it's a ticket stub. Like imagine the yoga pants, okay? Like nice yoga pants, kind of like a Lulu, but they got a ticket stub in the back. If some girl likes that pants and she takes a camera and points at the ticket stub, it's going to bring her right to where those pants were. And the girl that bought the set of pants is going to get rewarded for somebody else buying them off her fucking ticket stub.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I can see. Okay.
So it's this wide fucking range of clothing brand. You know what I mean? And it's pretty fucking cool. Ticketclothing.com is where you go to find some of it. We're just starting out, so be patient with us.
Ticketclothing.com. Beautiful. What can people expect from it?
Clothing with our brand on it, man. Our love, a good quality clothing. You know what I mean? We're coming through, man. We're coming through. We're doing it up in Canada. Slowly but surely, you know?
Make sure you guys follow that. I'll put the link in the description as well. Ticketclothing.com. Yeah.
Yeah, man. If you guys are ever in Ottawa, come to the Dobro's Pizza. It's one of my pizza places me and my family own. That's one of the best pizzas in the world, brother. Really, really good pizza.
Dobro's
yes, sir.
Pizza. There it is, man. All right. Any last words? Any rumors you want to clear up? Anything, that's out there that you want to, give your side on before we head out?
Like I said, man, what I did when I did was at a time when I was a youth. You know what I mean? I would never probably do that hustle ever again the way I did. You know what I mean? I'm more older now. I know consequences. I know what right from wrong. All humans should. But I just want to say, fucking again, to all the people, if anybody's listening to this that got robbed by me, I am so fucking sorry, man. I went with the times, bro. I rolled. You know what I mean? And maybe you guys could tell your story if anybody out there is one of the people, one of the thousands of people that have taken their tape and money and whatnot. Maybe you could contact this podcast and be on here. Tell the side of the story of how that conversation went. You know what I mean? I
specifically want to hear from that group in Boston with all the white.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
I don't know what happened, but they were all the last message I got from them, because their manager wanted to put 500 in too, because he said he's part of the package. Last fucking message I got from that guy was, "You fucking scammed us, FBI motherfucker," and I hung up the phone on him. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's pissed.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it was just fucking crazy times, man. There's so much, but my memory, like, you gotta think, like, I fucking locked this up for so long, because, okay, fine. I told a few friends, yo, I robbed EAZY, Ruthless Records. Oh, yeah? So what are you doing tomorrow? Like, who the fuck's gonna believe you? Who's gonna believe you? You're talking to Craig Mack. You're talking to this guy. You're talking to Lady Law on the phone. Okay, like, how much fucking marijuana are you smoking these days, bro? Slow down, Fuck. So, eventually I got tired of saying it because I looked like an idiot. As excited I was to tell my friends, you know what I mean? My good friends knew. I got about 10 fucking friends that listen to these guys' songs, messages, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish I had a record company, bro, because some of these guys, they'd probably be huge today. They were so good.
So there were some good ones out of some of the BS.
Oh, lots of good ones, man. There was so many good fucking rappers, man. It was unbelievable. There was one from Columbus, and they sounded like Bone Thugs. They had that same swag like Bone Thugs does. They were good. They're called they're called the Thugsters. Columbus Thugsters. Columbus Thugsters is the name of that rap group at the time. The Columbus Thugsters, and there was like 6 of them.
Damn.
Yeah, Columbus Thugsters. They were fucking following suit for sure. Yeah, man.
Damn. Well, dude, thank you so much, Raphael.
All right, my brother.
Like I said, I'm going to work on getting you and Mike Klein on the phone together, and we can work on recording.
Things out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so you'll definitely hear from me offline. I'll definitely be getting with you within the next couple of days. I do.
Listen, man, Dusty, love and respect. I love your show, bro. I've been listening to it now, and it's nice to hear. It's nice to reminisce and go back and listen to different stories about EAZY and stuff. It's pretty fucking cool, man. I appreciate you guys a lot. Yeah. You and Lonzo Williams.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you sharing your story, man, and we'll be in touch for sure within the next couple of days.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, brother. Peace, man.